We are now just less than 4 months away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that they will be introducing new aspects to the franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen in the Skywalker saga's history. And with that being said, we do know that this film is going to be very nostalgic, while at the same exact time very original and different, as it will be borrowing elements as well on top of all of that from the EU, also known as Star Wars Legends. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence based in the third act of the film, where it's described that both Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting the Dark Acolyte, who is under the control of Palpatine's spirit. It's said that one of the sequences is said to involve a moment in which Palpatine's Sith spirit detaches itself from the Dark Acolyte, where he travels into Rey's body to test her limits and to see her potential. It's said that as Palpatine's spirit travels into Rey's body, she begins to age where she gains the yellow Sith eyes. It's said that as this happens, Rey begins to learn the whole truth of the ancient Sith and the origins of the dark side, and that Palpatine's Sith spirit allows her to see all of these new truths before her very own eyes. The spirit of Sidious is said to communicate in Rey's head as she is temporarily possessed, where Palpatine unveils his plan to Rey to take over Ben Solo's body and rule the universe as one. This is where Rey is able to push the spirit out of her body due to her having so much light within her, where she has the chance to warn Kylo Ren of what Palpatine is about to do, where it's unfortunately too late, where Kylo Ren gets possessed by Palpatine's wraith. This is where Rey has a very hard time against the battle of Kylo Ren, since she becomes weakened from Palpatine's spirit during the sequence. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to feature many big moments just like this that's going to change how we view the Skywalker saga and the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren. Now, what I find so inspiring about this is that this is, of course, tapping directly into Star Wars Dark Empire, where Palpatine threatened Luke Skywalker to take over his body and rule the entire galaxy as one specific being. Now, that's a very interesting side of Star Wars, in my opinion, the fact that they are going through with the plans of possession, also known in Legends as essence transfer, where Palpatine was able to go into his clone bodies. However, in this scenario, he uses Rey as a vessel in order to teach her a lesson about the origins of the dark side, and to experiment with her potential, though she's not a likely candidate for a host, and that's where he unveils that he must skip over to Ben Solo now. Now, what I like about this is that this is said to be a moment in which Rey is said to age due to the Palpatine Sith spirit and its dark side energy flowing through, Rey's body, and how he takes over her body as well for a brief scene at the very end of the movie. Now, what I like about this is that there's a moment in which Rey is actually said to have so much light built within her that she's able to push the spirit out from her body, where she's able to warn Kylo Ren, however it's too late, where the Palpatine Sith spirit begins to take over his body and enter into his own soul. Now, this is a very cool part of Episode 9 in my opinion, the fact that JJ is trying his very best to make it a very dark Star Wars movie. Seems like he's trying to look at The Exorcist and other movies that involve possession and mixing it with Palpatine in the mix at the very end of the Skywalker saga, which could very well top this movie as the darkest Star Wars film in history. Now, nothing can really top Revenge of the Sith in my opinion, but that's exactly what J.J. Abrams aims to do with Episode 9. Exactly how he's going to do it, visually speaking, that's another question open on the table. So, the other piece that I do want to go over is that Palpatine's Sith spirit is actually said to weaken Rey. So the fact that Palpatine's Sith spirit is able to weaken Rey is quite significant because it tells us how powerful he really is through the ways of the dark side, and exactly what he's capable of doing to Kylo Ren and or Rey at a certain point in time in the film. So, this all takes place in the middle of a torrential rainstorm, in case you guys did not know. It takes place right near the Death Star 2 wreckage, where both Kylo and Rey take on the Dark Acolyte, who is under the control of Palpatine's Sith spirit. And what I like so much about this is that Ian McDiarmid is back on board for the role of Palpatine. He is literally back as Darth Sidious once more in the Skywalker saga, delivering his own lines of dialogue, delivering his own lines of, different pieces of dialogue that will actually line directly up with Kylo Ren and Rey and how that's all going to be used. I think it's a very inspiring thing by JJ, George, and Chris, and what they're really trying to put together in this film. How they're really trying to make this movie very much an original and different film, but at the same exact time, being very nostalgic at the end of the day. So yeah, anyways guys, I would really love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.